All he's interested in is you paying to watch him fight.
Right.
Him collecting the check and then going back about doing his business. Now, if he tried to hide it and pretend to be something else, that would be different.
Back in the ring?
I think it got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
Team. I don't, I'm not really into hanging out with other celebrities. I've learned my lesson from that.
But you the boss. And
during a recent live talk with Stephen A. Smith, 50 Cent spoke openly after hearing claims that Floyd Mayweather was connected to a $42 million scam while chasing even more money. He said money was the real reason their friendship ended and revealed that Floyd had once reached out to him for financial support. 50 explained that even though they used to be very close, Mayweather kept asking for more cash, and those repeated demands eventually caused their relationship to fall apart.
I can stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
so you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again?
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you,
50 Cent has taken another shot at Floyd Mayweather, this time challenging his claim that he spent $42 million to buy 62 apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Mayweather had proudly presented the purchase as a major real estate success and said he paid for it himself. He also claimed that every retail space in those properties was under his ownership, which helped build his image as a smart self-made businessman. But 50 Cent was not convinced. He went to Instagram and shared a clip from an online discussion where people questioned whether the deal was even real. In the caption, he joked that the champ had been caught making things up and said it might be time for another exhibition fight, followed by a laugh.
Apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Business Insider reported that no such deal appears to have occurred. Floyd recently posted a video on Instagram claiming he bought 6 apartment buildings, stating that they are all his properties with no partners involved. However, Business Insider has contradicted these claims, stating that ownership of the buildings remains unchanged.
The timing of 50 Cent's post was clearly intentional. Just a few weeks earlier, he had shared an AI-made parody of a famous Rocky III scene where he mocked both Mayweather and Harlem rapper Jim Jones. Since then, Mayweather's $42 million claim has raised serious questions. Reports later showed that New York City property records had no evidence of any sale or ownership transfer for the buildings Floyd said he bought. Even the New York City Housing Partnership, which manages these kinds of deals, said they had no record of any transaction involving him. If anything, it appeared Floyd may have only owned a small share of the investment, while full ownership stayed with others. This directly clashed with a video Floyd posted where he confidently said there were no partners involved.
I love bringing people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
The clear difference between Mayweather's public statements and the missing evidence caused more people to question whether the real estate deal was actually what he claimed. If he had really bought those buildings, many wondered why there was no official record showing ownership under his name. The lack of clear proof only made people more doubtful. Mayweather has built his image by constantly showing off his wealth, yet he stayed noticeably quiet as questions about the purchase continued to grow. Some fans commenting under 50's Instagram post even joked that since Floyd has often been mocked over reading issues, he may have misunderstood the contract and thought it said 62 units when it actually referred to Unit 62, which would mean owning only a small part of the investment.
All right. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties. And
it was not just the missing proof that created controversy around Mayweather's claim. The boxer has spent years using social media to show off his wealth by posting expensive cars, luxury watches, and high-value properties. But 50 Cent has often criticized this behavior and argued that Floyd cares more about looking rich in public than building real long-term financial security. Over the years, 50 has repeatedly mocked Mayweather for living an extremely flashy lifestyle, while questions about unresolved money problems continue to follow him.
Back in the ring?
I think it got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
And it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like,
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local host.
Mayweather's decision to stay silent on these specific accusations only made the situation more suspicious. Over the years, he has been quick to answer public criticism, especially when it involved his career or the way he shows off his expensive lifestyle. That is why his silence this time raised even more questions. Whenever Floyd Mayweather has faced doubts about his wealth, he has usually stepped forward right away to defend himself and make it clear that his financial success should never be questioned.
Just another ordinary day, chilling in an EWV Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWV is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5". Some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary. Come check it out.
50 Cent has repeatedly said that his breakup with Floyd Mayweather was not just about pride or personal differences, but mainly about money. He explained that their relationship fell apart after Mayweather got out of jail in 2012 and reportedly did not return money that 50 had invested to help keep Mayweather promotions running. 50 said he covered major business expenses, expecting to be paid back once Floyd was released, but that repayment never happened. He added that this is when things changed between them and the friendship turned sour. In his view, he did not just lose a close friend, but also learned that he had put his trust and money into someone who was not fully committed to the business side of boxing.
Don't give me the money.
Because you'd already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants to, to give me the other half?
What makes the fallout between them even more serious is 50 Cent's claim that he still holds rights linked to the money team, also known as TMT, the brand Mayweather built after boxing. In several interviews, 50 has said that although Floyd presents TMT as his own global brand, some of the trademarks and legal rights are actually registered under his name. He explained that when TMT was first created, Mayweather was not focused on handling paperwork, so 50 took care of the official filings and ended up keeping certain rights. It is a quieter form of criticism, but one that hits hard, especially given how important branding and legacy are to Mayweather.
To stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation is invalid. So I could actually, technically it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because it's just not.
Floyd Mayweather's recent Instagram post, where he called critics bitter, jealous, and envious losers, has once again intensified debate around his finances and the truth behind his wealth. While Mayweather continues to present himself as a self-made businessman who overcame stereotypes, some people in the boxing world have questioned how transparent his business activities really are. Logan Paul, who fought Mayweather in a major exhibition match in June 2021, has also publicly claimed that he was not fully paid for the event. Paul says he is still owed about $5 million and has suggested that this missing payment affected his ability to make big purchases, including a private jet.
Did you fight Floyd or something?
Yeah.
Did he pay you to lose? What happened?
He didn't pay me. I wish you'd pay me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money.
Despite Mayweather's claim that Logan Paul was paid in full, Paul has said he plans to take legal action to recover the money he believes he is still owed. This ongoing dispute has raised further doubts about Mayweather's financial handling and his reliability when it comes to honoring contracts. His financial controversies are not limited to boxing events. In 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission fined him more than $600,000 for not disclosing payments he received for promoting cryptocurrency investments. Reports stated that he failed to reveal around $300,000 in payments for promoting several initial coin offerings, including one linked to Cent, a company later accused of fraud. The case added to concerns about his past financial endorsements and suggested a pattern of prioritizing personal profit over full transparency.
Boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. and music producer DJ Khaled settled their case with the SEC. It says that investigators found Mayweather did not disclose he was paid by 3 cryptocurrency companies to promote investments through social media, including $100,000 from Centra Tech. For that company, Mayweather tweeted telling followers to get Centra's ICOs before they sell out. Khaled also allegedly did not disclose he was paid $50,000 from the same company. On social media, he called it a game.
Tax issues have also followed Mayweather and added to the questions around his finances. In 2017, records showed that he owed the Internal Revenue Service more than $22 million in unpaid taxes from 2015 a year, when he reportedly earned around $200 million from his fight against Manny Pacquiao. Mayweather asked the U.S. tax court for permission to pay the debt in installments, saying most of his assets were not easily available in cash. However, the IRS rejected this request, which raised further concerns about how well his finances were being managed.
Floyd Mayweather has made a lot of money in his career. It appears he also owes a lot of money too. The boxer apparently owes $22.2 million in taxes from 2015. According to ESPN, the tax balance was unpaid as recently as March 6th of this year. Meanwhile, on Facebook, he shared, "Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear." He added, "Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. He continued, "Bottom."
Critics in the boxing and combat sports community have openly raised doubts about Mayweather's financial conduct. Former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen warned that the situation involving unpaid money to Logan Paul could potentially draw the attention of federal agencies like the FBI. According to Sonnen, disputes like these may go beyond public image problems and could even lead to legal consequences if they remain unresolved or escalate further.
If you say a man doesn't pay you, it's a big deal. Because you are now calling that other man's integrity into question. If you do that publicly, oh my goodness. If a man, particularly one who brags about his wealth, is not paying his bills, it's a big deal. And I just thought that's all Paul was doing.
Conor McGregor, who fought Mayweather in a 2017 boxing match, has also spoken about his financial situation. McGregor claimed that Mayweather's return to the ring was driven more by money needs than by a real passion for competition. He also pointed to reports of large tax debt suggesting that Mayweather may have been looking to generate income to help cover his financial obligations.
Great. I feel good, training hard. Did Floyd not take out his own jets?
Floyd got 3.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
Floyd,
yeah.
So Floyd's got
you know what else he got?
And he got
tax problems. That's what he's got. Oh, stop.
Floyd.
Adding to the controversy, Mayweather's expensive lifestyle has also kept him in the spotlight. During Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas in 2024, he reportedly spent more than $1 million on a luxury suite at Allegiant Stadium and also placed large bets on the game. While this kind of spending matches the image he has built over the years, it has also raised concerns about his financial choices and whether this level of spending is sustainable. Overall criticism from different figures in the sports world reflects ongoing doubts about his financial claims. Even though he continues to present himself as highly successful, the lack of clear proof, combined with repeated disputes, has led some to question how strong his financial story really is.
Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing...
Floyd Mayweather's reputation as one of the greatest fighters of his era is facing more debate than before. The discussion is no longer only about the quality of opponents he fought or avoided, but also about how his image has been shaped outside the ring. Some critics argue that his story reflects how ego, heavy spending, and ongoing financial and legal controversies can affect a person's overall reputation beyond just money. For them, it is not only about finances anymore, but also about value, relevance, authenticity, and long-term legacy. They believe these questions are slowly affecting how his career is viewed, even though his name continues to dominate headlines.
Money May all day. You know, right here, a light million. Over there, counting up another million over there. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you into my life. So Andrew Jackson, of course, is on the 20.
James Toney, who is known for his toughness and fighting spirit, has openly said that Floyd Mayweather is not the greatest fighter ever, and he believes it strongly. Toney's point was not meant as an insult, but as his personal view based on experience in a very competitive boxing era. He comes from a time when fighters regularly faced the best opponents at their peak without avoiding major risks, and he feels that kind of approach is missing today. In his opinion, Mayweather did not consistently face the most dangerous versions of certain top fighters. He mentioned names like Julio Cesar Chavez, Shane Mosley, Oscar de la Hoya, and Miguel Cotto, saying many of them fought Mayweather after their prime years. From this perspective, he believes Mayweather carefully managed his career choices to protect his undefeated record and focus on timing strategy and promotion, rather than taking the hardest possible fights at all stages.
Yeah, right.
I came up under the best.
Yeah, this has all been a very smart marketing play. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went down to see your mate Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather, and it was a fascinating thing to watch.
Yeah.
I never actually thought he could beat Floyd Mayweather, but
He did great.
But for a few rounds, he went toe to toe with him, and it was really interesting to watch.
He did really
and it was a massive success.
When critics like James Toney speak up, it tends to create a reaction because their opinions are not seen as jealousy. Toney's own legacy does not depend on Floyd Mayweather, and he has already proven himself by facing and defeating elite-level fighters in his career. From his point of view, it is less about personal dislike and more about calling out what he sees as an overly managed version of boxing history where image and promotion sometimes mattered more than taking the toughest possible challenges. Some critics also link that mindset to the modern direction of boxing entertainment, which now includes exhibition matches and crossover celebrity events involving influencers and non-traditional fighters. They argue this shift has blurred the line between sport and spectacle. The discussion has also moved beyond Mayweather's past fights and focuses on what he is doing today. His repeated exhibition appearances, along with flashy press events and ongoing rumors about potential crossover bouts, have led some observers to question his motivations. While Mayweather insists these fights are just for entertainment and that he chooses to compete rather than needing the money, critics interpret the constant activity differently. They argue that when someone repeatedly emphasizes their wealth and independence, it can sometimes lead people to question whether there is more behind it than just entertainment.
Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Because of all this, a question keeps coming up among fans and commentators. Is Floyd Mayweather still as wealthy as he claims, or is his image of endless money more about maintaining a certain public persona than reality? Joe Rogan also addressed this topic on his podcast, where he discussed Mayweather's spending habits, including expensive watches and his high-profile lifestyle. He suggested that someone living at that level of luxury would need a steady and continuous flow of income to maintain it. From that perspective, some people believe his recent exhibition fights are less about competition and more about financial opportunity. They argue these low-risk, high-reward events help sustain his lifestyle while keeping his public image intact. In that context, critics often repeat the idea that his constant emphasis on wealth may be part of a larger effort to maintain perception as much as reality.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, limited edition AP, all factory, 1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section. We like to call this the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s. I heard in the song you can get the biggest Chanel bag in the store if you want it. Well, it's the biggest Chanel bag in the world.
This is how critics frame the situation, rather than a confirmed fact. They point to several past financial and legal issues involving Mayweather and use them to question whether his public image fully matches reality. These include reports about tax disputes after his fight with Manny Pacquiao, a fine from the Securities and Exchange Commission over undisclosed cryptocurrency promotions, and ongoing claims from Logan Paul about unpaid money from their exhibition fight. From that perspective, some people argue that if Mayweather truly earned the level of income he often mentions from exhibition events, then these disputes would be less frequent or already resolved. They also point to how often he publicly emphasizes his wealth as something unusual for someone who is already financially secure. However, none of these claims alone provide a complete picture of his overall financial situation, and much of it remains disputed or based on different interpretations of the same events.
It's Money May, Aaron Mayweather 2. Go Money Green on him. Change it up. Change it up. Change it up. That's what we do. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what we did.
I need everybody, all the fighters all around the world, MMA, boxers, follow this man right here. We getting the job done. Money make, and y'all know the rest.
He's no longer just being judged on money, but also on how his public image is holding up over time. Some people believe his brand used to represent unmatched discipline and dominance in boxing, but now they see it as more focused on attention and constant media presence. From that viewpoint, they argue that repeated exhibitions and ongoing public debates have started to shift how his legacy is discussed. Others, however, see it differently and believe he is simply continuing to monetize his fame in a way that many retired athletes do while staying in control of his narrative. In the end, his legacy is still being written, and opinions about it depend heavily on whether people focus more on his undefeated record or his life after boxing.